Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is the One Netbook T1, which is a 13-inch Windows tablet that comes from One Netbook, a company that up until now has really been known more for making things like handheld computers, like this little One Netbook A1 mini laptop, or handheld gaming PCs from its 1X player line. But the parent company of One Netbook is a company called Voyo, and they've been making tablets for a number of years. And so this is the first One Netbook branded device. It's also one of the first tablets to feature a 12th generation Intel Core processor. This is just a first look video. I've only been playing with it for about a day or so, but it goes up for pre-order through a crowdfunding campaign starting June 12th, 2022 with super early bird pricing starting at $5.99. So I wanted to take a quick look at the tablet and give you some general ideas of what to expect, and then we'll be back a little bit later with a more in-depth review. So it's a 13-inch tablet with a 2160 by 1440 pixel display. It works with a detachable keyboard, which attaches magnetically, works as a cover. There is a 46 watt-hour battery and the 65 watt USB Type-C charger, which is really pretty portable. And we've got support for a pressure-sensitive pen. Taking a look around the sides, well, actually, let's first take a look at this kickstand. So we've got this kickstand, has a nice little mechanism here that allows it to work at just about any angle. We've got stereo speakers, one on each side, volume buttons, micro SD card reader, headset jack, USB Type A port, ventilation, power button, microphone, USB Type A, USB Type C, and mini HDMI, and then that other speaker. If we take a look at the back, nice little feature here is that the screws down here are removable, and when you take all of the screws out, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it actually sort of makes the screen pop out a little bit, and you can pry it open and access the inside. The RAM is not upgradable, but the SSD is. So the model that I'm testing here that was sent to me by the folks at One Netbook features an Intel Core i5 1240p processor. And 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. Now, this configuration is going to sell for, I think, around $8.99 and up during crowdfunding. There's an entry-level model that's going to sell for $5.99 and up, but that has an Intel Core, actually has an Intel Pentium Gold 8505 processor, which is a lower power, lower performance chip. It's 5 cores, 6 threads. This version has 12 cores and 16 threads and Intel Iris Xe graphics. There's also a top-tier configuration, which is going to be a Core i7 1260p processor and up to 2 terabytes of storage. But in terms of pricing, models with a 1260p are going to start at $11.39 during crowdfunding, have retail pricing as high as $13.99 or $14.99 for a version with 2 terabytes of storage. So there's a pretty wide range of prices, starting from $5.99 for Super Early Bird for the Pentium, $8.99 for the Core i5, and up to $12.39 for a Core i7 with 2 terabytes of storage, or $11.39 for a Core i7 with 1 terabyte of storage. So you can find more details about this at liliputing.com rather than try to write all of that down. And then the retail pricing, of course, is going to be even a little bit higher. So is it worth it? Again, I'm going to have a more detailed review coming up a little bit later that sort of goes more in depth into performance. But I can say that, you know, in terms of general performance, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, but I don't necessarily see some of the benefits that I expected from having a 1240p processor. And I think that's partly because of the constraints of having this sort of thin and light design. It weighs less than 2.2 pounds. It's a pretty slim device. And so in order to keep it cool, that processor can't necessarily run full blast all the time. And so when I ran some benchmarks, and again, you can find more details at liliputing.com, I found that it's really not that much faster than a system with an 11th generation processor, and under certain activities, it might even not be as fast as that. Another thing to keep in mind is that while it's nice to have this keyboard, it's not my favorite keyboard. First of all, let's just bring up something for a little bit of typing here. When you are typing, it is really easy to lose your place because there's no palm rejection on this touchpad. So let me show you that again. It is really easy to lose your place if your palm, okay, now it's not doing it. There we go. If your palm sort of just taps anywhere, suddenly you find yourself not typing in the right place anymore because it's really easy to sort of move that cursor and accidentally pull up something from the side of the screen or move to a different app. And I found myself, when trying to use this keyboard for writing, running into some difficulty because of that lack of decent palm rejection. Now that said, you don't necessarily need to use the included keyboard. You could use a different one if you wanted to use this as a laptop. And I've already paired, for instance, this Bluetooth keyboard and it's not a great Bluetooth keyboard, but I can use it to type a little more. Well, normally I can type a little more reliably, but I'm having a little bit of issue there. Again, this is a first look video. But so the idea is, you know, basically you can use the included keyboard. It takes a little getting used to. You might need to figure out how not to put your palms in the wrong spot. It does have a pen, as I mentioned, pressure sensitive input. So let's go ahead and bring up Microsoft Whiteboard here and show you that as I press harder, it picks that up. So my handwriting is pretty awful, so I'm not going to subject you to looking at too much of that, but it is something that you can use. We've got a webcam. It's a 720p webcam. You can see the color reproduction is not amazing. It's not super sharp and focused, but it should do fine for video calls, I imagine. And we do also have built-in speakers. We've got on-screen keyboard here. Hi, this is Brad Linder with Lilliputiting, and this is the One Netbook A1 Pro, which is a little laptop with a 7-inch touchscreen display. It's a full HD screen, and it's a convertible tablet-style display, which you can rotate, flip back, and hold like this. This model is a little bit different from a lot of mini laptops, in that it's a swivel hinge instead of a 360-degree hinge, and that allows you access to these back ports at all times, including a full-size Ethernet. So that gives you a basic first look. It is basically a full-fledged computer with everything that you would need for any sort of computing task. So you can use it as a mobile device. At 13 inches and 2.2 pounds, I don't find it super comfortable to just hold it in my hands for, say, watching videos or reading websites or, you know, doing those sorts of things. But as a sort of pseudo laptop, you could use it with the included keyboard. I found that actually plugging it into an external monitor keyboard, it works pretty well as a desktop replacement. Again, it's not the most powerful computer that I've tested. It's sort of on par with something that I would expect from a Core i5 or Core i7 11th generation CPU. I'll be really interested to test more devices with Intel Alder Lake processors to see if we can really expect more of a performance boost when used in systems that have a little bit extra room for cooling. But overall, as a device that has a 12th generation processor, is a tablet, is a convertible, you know, it's an interesting little project. I wish that the keyboard was a little bit better. I wish that the pricing were maybe a little bit more affordable because while $599 is a great starting price, you get a lot less computer for that money than you do at the $899 and up level. But it is interesting to see One Netbook, a company that really has been sort of more aligned with mini PCs, jumping out into this Surface-style 2-in-1 tablet space. So this is Brad Linder with Lilliputiting, and a first look at the One Netbook T1 with an aluminum body and a 12th generation Intel Core processor, available for pre-order through crowdfunding on Indiegogo June 12th, 2022 for $599 and up, $1239 for a top-tier model with a Core i7 processor. And the version that we're looking at here has a Core i5 1240p chip, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of storage for $899 and up during crowdfunding, or $1119 at retail.